In the last video, we added a couple of new lessons, rearranged our lessons and topics within the course builder, and it was really simple to do. Well, it's pretty common to have a quiz at the end of a section of your class, and Tutor LMS calls those topics, as we know. So let's go ahead and add a topic quiz. There's quiz info, questions, settings, and advanced options. Let's put a good title in here. We'll call this Introduction Quiz. Answer all the questions below. We'll click Save and Next. And now we're able to add questions that the students will get to answer. So I'm going to click Add Question. The question types are true, false, open-ended, matching, ordering, single choice, fill in the blanks, image matching, multiple choice, short answer, and image answering. This is a really, really great way to do quizzing. It's not just the typical multiple choice or true and false. It gives you a lot better options to make sure your students know the content that you're trying to teach. Well, I'm going to choose image answering for this first one, and I'm going to have to upload an image. Once again, I'm just going to use this QuickBooks image. You'll enter the question here. What items are depicted in this image? Answer required or randomized. This means I can randomize the order of the questions. How many points it's worth. Display the points. And then I can give the answer here. Now, this is a text answer. When you're using this kind of question, you'll need to be pretty obvious. So I'm just going to say books. I think that's pretty obvious. So click Save and Continue, and what items are in the image answering, and what items are depicted in this image. Click Add Question. This one is going to be simple. I'm just going to ask a question. What's the name of the new WYSIWYG editor in WordPress? We'll choose multiple choice, which is a pretty typical question type. The answer title then is going to be Tiny MCE. Save answer. And now we get to add more options. Click Add an option. Gutenberg. Save answer. And we'll put a check mark in Gutenberg because, of course, that's the correct answer. We'll add one more option and say there isn't one. Save answer. Click Save and Continue. Click Next. Here are the options that we use for our quiz. I'm going to set a time limit of 10 minutes just for kicks and giggles. A limit of 10 times they're allowed to attempt the quiz. A passing grade of 80%. Of course, these are all changeable. Now, the max questions allowed to answer here. If you had a pool of 20 questions, for instance, that were randomized, well then, in this case, they would get 10 out of the 20 questions randomized for them. Click Save. The advanced options, quiz auto start. As soon as they land on the page, the quiz will start if it's a timed quiz. The question order is randomized. You can hide the question order, and a short answer character limit. I'm going to click Save and Close. I'm going to update the lesson. There's our quiz. Let's go take a look. Here's our introduction quiz. And now I've got a button to start the quiz. You'll notice that I have 10 minutes to complete it, 10 attempts allowed, 10 attempts remaining with a passing grade I need of 80%. So let's start the quiz. What's the name of the WYSIWYG editor in WordPress? Well, it's Gutenberg. And what's depicted in this image? Well, it's, of course, books. Let's see how we did. So my first two attempts that weren't in the video, I failed because I only answered one question correctly. But in that last one where you were watching, of course, I was able to complete and pass the quiz. So now you'll notice that I'm already set to go to the next lesson. It's nicely bolded for me, Lesson 3. So that's how we add a quiz in Tutor LMS. A couple of things to note. You can see how all of the students are progressing through the quizzes here in the back end, and as well, there is a gradebook option, which we'll look at in just a few minutes when we talk about the additional plugins.